Hello, this is Lisa from Happy Stamp, and today we are going to be making this card. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So to get this background piece right here, I have a piece of Stampin' Up's watercolor paper. And I'm going to be using, there's a smooth side and a rough side. I'm going to be using the smooth side because we're going to be stamping on it. So I'm just going to tape this down to this clipboard here. I'm just using some painter's tape. And you do want to kind of get some of the tack off of it, because I ripped a piece the other day because I didn't do that. So I got it all done and then I ripped it. So I just put it on your arm, get some of the sticky off. And then just tape it down. And we're going to be using the Zig Clean Color Real Brush Markers. They just give a real vibrant color to this. Probably could use the Stampin' Up, Stampin' Right markers, but they're not as bright, so that's why I chose to use these. Everything else is Stampin' Up, of course, except for this stuff, but all the other tools that I've used are Stampin' Up. So I made this one, and then I did this one, which is pretty, but I don't like some of the, I might take out, if I did this again, this green color. Kind of looks camo to me. It's still pretty though. And the colors that I used on this one are olive green and green, violet, deep green, and I think this is the one that I wouldn't use, the deep green. And then cobalt blue. That's what I used to get these colors. For this one, I am using yellow, bright yellow, orange, light green, and pale green. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your marker and you're just going to put down some color in different spots of your cardstock. And I found with these, the lighter the pressure on the cardstock, the better. If you press too hard, it kind of, it doesn't color all the way, doesn't give coverage is what it is. But if you do it lightly, it seems to work better. Okay, so I'm going to turn my phone off. All right, and then just choose your colors. It doesn't matter where you put your color. You're just gonna do it randomly. Okay, and get some green in here. Alright, let's try some yellow. And if you don't like here, I have some edges, that's fine. We're going to be spritzing this with some water, so it's all going to run together. We're also going to be cutting this down, so if you don't get right up to the edge, that's okay too. I don't know if I said at the beginning, this piece that I'm starting out with is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But like I said, we're gonna cut this down, so all right. So once we've got that all colored, I'm going to take one of our Stampin' our water spritzers, and this one I just have water in. Get my stuff out of the way so it doesn't get wet. And all I'm going to do is get this really wet, and then see how this gets moving there. And you can tip your board. To get it to move some more. But that's all you do. And when it dries, I let mine dry naturally overnight, so I have another one done. So we didn't have to, because it takes with the heat tool, it takes a little while to dry. So, you know, it takes a good 2 or 3 minutes. So I thought rather than listen to that, I have another one ready. Ta-da! So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our embossing buddy, and I'm going to run this all over. Get that good and coated. Then I'm going to take the stamp from the Flourishing Phrases. I'm going to use this one right here. And I'll get my block here. I'm going to turn on another light. It's kind of dark in here today. There we go. That's a little better. All right, and then we're going to take our VersaFine, or our Versamark, and cover this stamp. And then we're just going to randomly stamp on this piece of paper here. And then I'm going to take some clear embossing powder. And I'm going to put this on here so that I can see where I am stamping. Okay. And we can go to the next one. We're going to probably get 4, maybe 5 stamps on here. Okay. Put some more powder on here so we can see the next one. All right. Okay. Oh, let's see. And then we'll probably get one more. All right, one more down here and then we'll be done with this part. All right. All right, so I think we got that all done. All right. Get this put away so that I do not spill it. And I am going to get my heat tool and I'm going to let it heat up for about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. It just helps so that the heat doesn't warp the paper so much. And once it's good and hot, then I'll bring it to the paper. And just watch that powder melt. Once it gets shiny, then move it to the next area. go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take your water again, and we're going to get this good and wet. Okay. Then we're going to take a paper towel, and we're going to pick up some of that color. But do you see what it does? It traps the color underneath the embossing part and lifts the color that's not trapped to make it lighter. So you can make this as light or as dark as you want. All right, I think that's good. So you can see all the dark underneath the embossing, and then it's lighter where we picked up the color with the water. All right, so we are going to want to dry this again, so I'm going to take my heat tool, and you want to be careful that you don't remelt or scorch the embossing powder, so just really keep it moving. And you can do the front and the back, rotating. That helps the warping of the paper so it doesn't warp so much. Whatever you do, it's going to warp because it's still paper and it's still water, so it's still going to warp some. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So now we are going to take our paper trimmer and I'm just going to cut off the edges for right at the moment because I do have to cut this down. So we're just going to cut off the edges here. I want to make sure that it's straight. Excuse me. All right, we're going to cut off the tops. Okay. So our finished piece is going to come out to be 3 by 4 3/4. But I just wanted to cut off, I like to cut off the edges first and then just kind of judge which sides I want to cut off. See, because I like this green better than this over here. So I'm going to just put this at 3. And cut that off. And then I guess I kind of like those both the same. And then this is going to be 4 3/4. All right. Then I'm going to take a piece of piece of basic black. And let's see, can I use this piece here? Yes, I can, just barely. So this one's going to be cut at 3 1/8 by 4 7/8. So that just worked out. And I'm going to take my Tombow and use that on the back side so that I can wiggle it around and get a good even border on all 4 sides. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to rub it down real good to get it to adhere to the little bit of warped watercolor paper. Oop, and I moved it. I moved it good. And it is stuck. Well, see what I did? I moved it. Oh well, it'll have to stay. Not going to worry about it. Okay. All right. Next step is to get our card base. And I'm going to use a piece of the thick Whisper White. And I'm going to cut that in half. So that will be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. That's 5 1/2, and then we're going to score it at 4 1/4. Oh, need that again. Sorry. So we're going to cut this in half. I'm sorry, fold this in half and use our bone folder and give it a good crease there. All right. Then I'm going to take, doesn't matter, either side, since it's folded in half, and on the, we're going to cut off 1/2 inch, so it's truly going to be okay, it's truly going to be 8 by 5 1/2. And then we scored it at, we still scored it at 4 1/4 right here. But this part right here is only going to be 3 3/4. Okay? Hope you got that. I'm sure you did. All right. Then we will take our piece that we just made and we are going to use some more Tombow. And put that on the front of the card, leaving an even, and this is the piece that is 3 3/4. Is that 3 3/4? Yes, 3 3/4. And we're going to do an equal border as best we can, but I think I'm going to put the part that I messed up on down at the bottom. And we'll just try and get that as even as we can. I'm just not having any luck today with this. I don't know if it's because it's so hot here or what? Okay, let's try that again. And that's going to all be covered up, so that doesn't matter. But I got it down a little low. Because it's just drying like crazy. As soon as I put it down, it's like dry. Okay, try not to move it this time. All right, there we go. Alrighty. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our big shot. And let's see, I guess we can use this one here. Oh, I got one on here. And I'm going to use the dies from the Flourish set. And I need one of these. You actually need two, but I already have left over from the other one, so I'm just going to, because you only need a little bit of it. And you need one, so you need two of those. I've already got one cut though, and then one of these. And then from the layering ovals, you need this one right here. So one has 3 and one has 4 of the scallops. I need the smallest scallop from the set of 4. Okay, so we'll cut all those out at the same time. All right, sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I had a little one coming, but he must have changed his mind. All right, so we'll get these all out of here. I'm going to run that through again. I'm actually going to tear all this off. And on this big shot platform, right here in the middle is kind of raised up a little bit, and that's for the thinlits. The way my piece of paper was, though, I couldn't run it through with all those other dies I had in there. So I should have just done this one separately, because you want to put that in the middle so that it gets it a good cut. Yep, and see, it just cut perfectly. All right, we're going to bring that back in a minute, but I'm going to get my foam pad and my big shot brush and just run these over. This makes it so much easier. Comes right out with no mess. And I'll do the same thing with this one. And then it just keeps all of the little pieces right in my case here. And I've got this one all out of the flower, you can see, but I still got some little pieces in here, so I probably should have, I probably should have run that one through twice to get all of that out of there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through a different one, because I don't want to take the time to pick all those pieces out. So you could use your precision plate with this and it would probably just come right out. But that is over on the other side of the room right at the moment, so we'll see how it comes out with this, and then if I have to, I'll get my precision plate. There, that worked much better. Still a few in there, but I can just pick them out. So let me get put this away so it doesn't get lost. And put this one away also. Get my piercing tool. And then they just come right out. I was trying to do it over the white so you could see that they just pop right out. Okay. Let's see, got a couple here. Not too bad. All right. Okay. Get that out of the way. Then I'm going to take a piece of, a scrap of, not that, my scrap thing here. I keep all my scraps in a bag that I have labeled. And then I have them in a bin and I can just pull them out as needed. And we're going to take our basic black archival ink, and from the same stamp set I'm going to take the Just a Note, and get that on there. Okay. I'm going to bring my Big Shot back in. And here's the oval that we cut out of the black, and I'm going to use this oval right here, so it's the smallest right here. And I'm not using a magnetic platform, so that's why it's not sticking right at the moment. Okay, put that on there. All right. And we are done with that for right now. And here is our Just a Note. And I'm going to take, again, some of the green glue, and I'm going to put it on the back of here. And layer that on the black scallop. These layer really, really nicely. I was really sad that they got rid of all the punches, but these layer really nicely. All right, we'll set that aside. I'm going to take this piece now, and you see that's why I cut off the 1/2 inch right here, so you could see this pretty lattice on the side. So we'll just take this, and I'm going to use my fine tip glue. And on the back side, I'm just going to just put some dots of glue all over the back of this. You do kind of want to work quickly. It doesn't dry real fast, but if you work quickly, then it's less likely to dry on you. Okay, and you want to put your cap on right away so that the top doesn't get clogged up. Now, you're going to want to put this all the way at the bottom. And it doesn't have to be all the way to the edge, but a good okay. And if you need to, you can always use your fine tip glue pen again to put some more glue on the edge. Then what I did, because of course it doesn't match, it doesn't go all the way up, I took this extra one and I just laid it over and then cut it off at the top. So it's right up here that I want to cut. Okay, and you can, so you're just going to have to shape it a little bit. Otherwise, it's good to go. All right, so we'll take our glue again. And the part that I had to shape, I'm going to put that over this. So that you're not going to be able to see it. Okay, so we will take this and I'm going to put that right over the top. Sorry, I got to bring it closer to my face here. I can't see it. There you go. And then it just gives a pretty border right along the edge here. All right, let's finish up with our card. So I'm going to take our flower that we cut out. Again, I'm going to use my fine tip glue, and I'm just going to, I only put it in the middle, like right here, so that it had some lift to it. And let's see, I'm going to put this right about here. So we'll put this right about here. And I'm just going to let that sit there for a few minutes. Let that glue dry. Okay. And I'm going to take a dimensional for our sentiment. And we'll put that just right around here. Okay, just like that. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is get a rhinestone. And I'm going to use one of the biggest ones, and that fits just in the center of this flower. So it kind of holds it down also. It's just a little bit bigger. And there you have it. There we go. That's how you do that background. Isn't it pretty? Now, and you can see the difference between, because this one I did my embossing on the rough side, and you can see that there's little gaps in it because of the texture of the cardstock and the stamp not being able to press down on it completely. So this one's nice and smooth. So that's why I did that. I noticed it afterwards. All right, well, if you have any questions, please go ahead and leave me a message. I'll be happy to answer them. All the supplies, except for the Zig Clean Color brush tip markers, can be purchased through my online store at www.happystamp.stampinup.net. And thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.